Hello and welcome to another Robocraft 2 video. In this video I will show off this robot I made. I made some changes since the last version. I actually added a little instruction manual here because there's so many functions right now that I think it's needed. It's actually so many functions that I run out of outputs on your pilot seat. It's actually not that many since like some are really needed. I mean, you need a button to shoot, you need left and right, forward, backwards, etc. Right? So before you even can start working with functionality, you kind of used a lot of buttons already. And the way I solved it was to actually have extended functionality with shift. Like, so if you press and hold shift while clicking other keys, you will get a new function. That took a bit of logic, so we got the logics over here. So pretty much if you press only control, something will happen. If you hold shift and press control, something else will happen. And that way I could add more functionality than what would be possible otherwise. It ate a bit of CPU due to a bit more extensive logic for that to work. The engines are external because they're getting removed. I will probably have to do some adjustments depending on how that will affect CPU and maybe driving capabilities as well. But I can't do that like this guesswork. I think like since there's two engines, I don't think like they'll probably up the cost of CPU for the wheels when they remove the engines. But since this is only 4 wheels and I have 2 engines here, it should be fine CPU wise. I should even be like a bit on the higher end of CPU. So anyway, I think this robot is a good example. We're gonna take it out on the map. I think this robot is a really good example for what I personally, even though we have a lot less stuff to work with yet in Robocraft 2, for me it's more rewarding to build in Robocraft 2 than Robocraft 1 because of this extended functionality. You can do a lot more stuff. Of course, this might not be needed in combat. For example, the trunk I made here actually might make the vehicle worse than the other way around. So like if I hold shift and press hold control, it will open the trunk, and this will make it possible for a friendly robot to, like a friendly player to, if you can exit your robot, right? So if I have a friendly player with me and maybe someone destroys his robot, he could jump up and sit there and shoot, and I could drive him somewhere. There's stationary objectives on the map, so I could possibly take him to one of those stationary gun turrets and drop him there. So that would be a nice use for this. So this is I didn't have enough functionality. I had like 50 CPU left and didn't know what to do with it, so I did this. So if you only right click, you will extend the gun turret. So holding shift and this will open and gun turret will do nothing. Not holding shift, it will go down. Same with brakes, is actually on shift back. Oh, that was control. While shift control is putting the lights on and off. Shift S or shift backwards will brake the car. You also have a combined keystrokes with the balancing that I showed off in the previous video, where you can kind of balance the robot a bit mid-air. That's holding space while pressing left and right, or A and D as it is. So I think it's really rewarding to build, because you can like really do these things with the different logic that you got on hand, like the Boolean type of logic, and also with the different hinges and servos and stuff like that, motorized servos. A lot of it will probably not improve your chances in battle. I will just drive around while talking, I guess. A lot of it will not improve your chances in battle that much, I think. Like a tank with absolutely no logic at all will probably do absolutely fine. It won't be able to jump up these cliffs, of course. But I mean, you could use or have a lot more armor on a tank if it's not supposed to be able to do these kind of crazy jumps, right? The trunk actually holds. I was a bit worried, since the trunk is only sitting on one hinge, that I would lose it quite easily. Turns out it's somewhat well protected from the back, so I've only lost it like very fast in my tries once. So I think it should be, for the most part, okay. It's probably a bit weaker in the trunk than before I added. Here we got one of those stationary turrets where you could drop off a friend. So most of all, this robot is more made to kind of show off what you can actually do, like fun stuff you can actually do with building a Robocraft 2. And something I think at least will be actually fun to use in an actual battle. It might not be the most optimized robot, the strongest robot, but I think it will do fairly well. And functionality wise, because I actually managed to extend functionality beyond the number of buttons available on the pilot state, I would dare to say that right now this is the robot with most functionality on a single robot in Robocraft 2 as of now. I might be wrong, someone else might have done this as well without me knowing about it. I'm not all knowing. So yeah, I feel like I'm mostly just talking now, but I'm really looking forward to the multiplayer tests. I hope they will come out soon. Oops, that will not end well. Also, hopefully, I think it would be really fun with some like racing, if that's possible, to get some maps where you can actually race. Because I mean, since you can actually like affect a lot of the handling of the robots, like a destruction derby type of map could be really fun, where no guns are allowed and you can just, but you're allowed to crash into other players, and you have this track, and first to actually make it to the finish line wins, where like all bets are off but you don't have any guns. That would, I think, be really fun. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, even though this one wasn't really much of a guiding video, but more just showing up the new functionality on the robot, and most of all, how you can extend functionality beyond the inputs on the pilot chair. Right, cheers, thanks for watching.